In just over 12 hours, polling booths will officially open across the state and Western Australians will decide who will become our next Premier. It will also bring to an end a bruising 5-week campaign which has culminated in death threats, the rise of Pauline Hanson's One Nation and serious questions over who can reverse WA's ailing economy. The man who hopes to win his third election tomorrow, Premier Colin Barnett, joins us live from West Perth. And Premier, do you feel you can lead the state for another 4 years?
Well, I think it would be a good decision for Western Australia to stay with the current government. This has been a good government in terms of grabbing the opportunity of the growth of China. We are diversifying our economy now through agriculture and tourism. And indeed, West Australia is in good shape. We dominate Australia's exports. We've grown in population by 500,000 people. And this government has got a very clear plan that is approved by Treasury, and we can return the state government to surplus within this next term of government, and we can repay $12 billion worth of debt. In other words, we can deal with the financial situation that Western Australia faces.
And Premier, with so much attention being placed on the state's finances and whether we can afford the billions in political promises, what will be first on your list if you are re-elected?
Well, the first piece of legislation we'll deal with will be to introduce Sunday trading, Sunday shopping from 9 a.m. That's the number one thing. I think Perth's behind the times and people want to see not only Sunday trading, but earlier Sunday shopping.
And Premier, finally, should you lose tomorrow, what do you hope you'll be remembered as your greatest accomplishment as Premier?
Well, I'm hoping I won't lose, but getting a third term is difficult, I understand that. I hope people just see me as an honest, hard-working Premier who's played a role, along with so many other people, in transforming Western Australia. Perth is no longer Dullsville, and this government, with the community, has done that.
Thanks very much for your time tonight, Premier Colin Barnett. And now to the man who hopes to be the next WA Premier, Labor leader Mark McGowan. Mr McGowan joins us live from Mindarie. And Mr McGowan, how are you feeling after such a hard-fought campaign?
Narelda, I feel terrific. I'm so excited about the opportunities ahead for Western Australia. I put forward a very comprehensive plan for the state, our plan for jobs, our plan for health, our plan to deal with the meth crisis, put additional education assistance in the schools, comprehensive savings to pay for our commitments to the state. And I'll tell you what, Narelda, we're not going to sell off Western Power, an important state asset that provides an essential service to the people of the state. It's been a long campaign. We've tried to be positive and make sure people understand we want to make the state stronger, we want to make our state fairer.
Well, Mr McGowan, a lot of your campaign has focused on jobs and building public infrastructure, but with the state in such a dire financial position, what do you think will be your first move should you become Premier?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is rip up the list that the state sends to Canberra, which fast-tracks workers like bricklayers and engineers and nurses and teachers and the like from overseas into Western Australia. I think we need to put West Australian jobs first. And I'm also going to make sure we review all the contracts so we don't have any more disasters like that Malaysian footbridge deal, which was sent to Malaysia. When it comes to legislation, the first legislation we'll introduce into the Parliament if we're elected is life terms for meth traffickers who deal in death for young people in Western Australia. It's time we crack down on that very serious issue.
And finally, Mr McGowan, should Labor lose tomorrow, do you have enough fight left in you to battle yet another Barnett government, or will you hand the reins to someone else?
Well, I'm focused on doing my best to win, Narelda, so I'll be working every moment up until 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and hopefully the results come in favour. Not really thinking about losing, but if I lose, I'm sure that the party has the depth to be able to deal with that issue, and I'm sure someone else will do a great job as opposition leader. But we're very much focused on providing a real alternative for the people of Western Australia. 8.5 years of the same government, the same Premier, and all the problems we have in our state is too long. It's time for a fresh start.
Well, Mark McGowan, thanks very much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Narelda.